Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. We are working in the Crafty Companion printable templates that are available in my Etsy shop, and I will have them linked down below. And we are currently making the Crafty workstation with the Crafty dividers on top. And I have a YouTube playlist just for this template, and I will link it up here and I'll link it down below if you want to start from the beginning, because so far, let me see if I can get this under here. This is what we've got so far. So we've made the crafty cubbies, we've made the crafty dividers, we've put it all together, we have wrapped all the edges, and we have matted everything all the way around, right? And so today we're going to start on the crafty trays that go inside here. I just wanted to remind you guys to give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel before you leave, and share my video. It does help me out quite a bit. If you are making the exact same thing I am making, I have 3 crafty cubbies that are the size C, and then I have 2 crafty cubbies that are the size B. So let me show you what that is. So in my workbook, which I have a video, I made this workbook on video, and I will link it up here and down below. In my workbook, there's a section Crafty Trays, so I'm going to go to that. And then on page 1 is the base of all of the crafty trays, all of the full-size crafty trays. So we need this, a template. And then page 2 is smaller crafty trays. And then on page 3 is the side panels for the full-sized crafty trays. So we're going to take size C and size B. So if you made a size A, then just be sure you grab the size A side panels, or front and back panels, and the size A front or side panels. there's so many panels. But I just made size B and C, so that's the only 2 I'm going to take. So I'm going to get the side panels for size B and C as well. And it'll say on there, well, maybe if my camera wants to focus. There we go. So the B size and the C size. Those are the 2 that I've made. Now, if you made the ones with the A's, be sure to grab the A's. So that is all I need from the templates at the moment. Okay, so what you want to do, I've already put together, let me show you. I've already done the size C ones. I've already wrapped 2 of the size C's, and I'm almost finished with the 3rd one. I was going to wrap this one with you guys, but I've already done the size C, and the size C is done the exact same way as size B. So I am not going to trace out the size C ones. I should have just left them in my workbook, but that's okay. Okay, so here I have, this is Medium Weight Chipboard. Oh, I also have an Amazon list specifically for the Crafty Companion projects, whether it's the workstation, the storage unit, the garbage bowl, the whatever it is. I have an Amazon page, an Amazon influencer list that has everything that I use in that list, or the equivalent to. Like a perfect example would be, I've been using the scrapbook.com 6-inch roll. They don't sell that on Amazon, so I link the score tape 6-inch roll. So just keep that in mind. The scrapbook.com tape is a really good tape. I'll have that linked as well down below. But anyway, it's just a good reference place for you guys. It is an affiliate link, so if you want to purchase through that, I thank you so very much. Every little bit helps keep my channel going. So I appreciate it in advance. Okay, so if you want to know about my chipboard, go to that link. You hit the picture of the chipboard and all the info about it will pop up. So it's Medium Weight Chipboard. And I've already traced 1 of the size B's out, so I'm just going to trace 1 out with you guys. I don't think I need a bigger sheet. But all you do is lay this on here. There's a little bit of tape on the back there, so it's going to stay put. And then I'm just going to trace around the edges. And then I'm going to lay this front and back panel. Well, I'm going to try to anyway. So the workstation that I made, I can't get it even. I'm just using full trays. And obviously you've seen that there's different size trays. So you do whatever you want, but for this particular workstation, I like having the full trays. We're going to make another workstation, a different type of workstation. That'll be coming up, that we're going to be using different sizes of the Crafty Trays. So you need 2 front and back panels, and then you need 2 side panels. So I like to go on the top here. It just makes for less cutting. There's one. And here's another. Okay. Set those aside. Alright, so this is a Score-Pal craft mat, and this is a Scotch utility knife, and my Tim Holtz ruler. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut here first. The best tip I can give you for cutting chipboard is to go slow and steady. Don't press too hard. It just makes it harder to do. So just go several passes gently. Does that make sense? And the sharper the blade, obviously the less passes you have to make. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this larger piece off. Keep all of these little scraps, because the other, oops, I've shifted. The other size Crafty Trays, you might be able to use this for that. So I'm keeping them over here in my, the workstation that I made so that I could test it out, my prototype. So I'm using that while I'm making my workstation. And if you wanted to, you could be using your workstation right now, because you know the top part is already done, so you could just stick those little pieces in your little different little divided spaces. Okay, there's one side. There's another, and then this is a scrap. Alright. I also kind of wanted to remind you guys that I have recorded these ahead of time. I have not even released the template at this point yet. I wanted to get a certain amount, I wanted to get the workstation completely filmed before I released it. I just feel like this way you guys can just get straight to work on making it, and you won't have to wait on me to film. So hopefully when you're seeing these videos, I'll be working on the next workstation, and we'll just keep going like that, hopefully. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I need to, if there's lots of questions, if I need to, I'll make another video in between. But I'm trying to answer I'm trying to think of any questions that you guys may have ahead of time. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is, what am I going to do? I'm going to take, and I'm going to put these together. So this is the B, right? I'm going to take just, oh, look, I knew I was going to run out of tape. This just happens to be the tape that I have. I bought it like in bulk at like Staples or something. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this out. There we go. Okay, so you need a couple pieces of tape, and you just want to, you don't have to do this. This is like an extra hand, in my opinion. That way your pieces don't run away from you. So this is a step that you can skip if you like. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to get these suckers put together. One way is my favorite, and the other way is more time consuming. But I'm going to show you anyway, because A lot of you know how to do that already. Okay. So there's one, then where's my other one here? I got it over here underneath my workstation. So then I've got another one. So I've already got another one already pre-made to this point, right? So I'm going to show you my favorite way first. And then I'll show you the way that probably most of you know how to do. I am going to get a piece of 12 by 12 white cardstock. This is Recollections, a 65 pound. I think I said 67 pound somewhere. I don't know why. 65 pound is what it is. I haven't been able to find it on Amazon yet, but I didn't know that when I started filming all the videos. So I need a piece of white cardstock. Now also, actually I don't need it right this second. I'm going to use these 8.5 by 11 sheets of scrapbook.com sticky back clear double-sided adhesive because I have them. They're actually, you get 5 to a package, I think, and they're actually pretty reasonable depending on what you're using them for. But I'm going to use this, I think. Yeah, I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to have to add a little bit of tape. But you could just use your big honkin' roll, or you can use other tape. Whatever you use. Whatever you use is fine. But this is, I'm going to use it because I have it. All right, let's see. They had sent me some a long time ago, and I used the whole package up when I was making my prototype, so I bought a whole bunch more. I really liked it. Okay, so I'm going to show you my favorite way first. This is my favorite way. So I'm going to take the backing off. Save your backing because you're probably going to need that. Alright, so I'm going to try to, as best I can, Scotch tape or transparent tape side down. I'm going to lay this on the tape. I'm going to try to get it as best I can lined up, and if it gets crooked, it's okay. Right? So then I'm going to take my craft knife again. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to stick this back on here. I'm going to cut this off. I'm probably not going to save that piece. I keep trying to get it off, and I keep making it worse. Ah! That's some sticky stuff. Okay, hold on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off. Okay, that might be the best I can do. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and remove these little bits. And I even have cuticle oil on my fingers, and it's sticking that well. Okay, so for these corners, I'm just going to notch these out like this. And I'm going to save those because we're going to use those. Now, the smaller trays, when I do this method, you keep all 4 corners because you're going to use all 4 corners. I'm just going to, I think I'm going to trim this little edge right, whoa, this little edge right there. So I'm not going to touch it, I don't think. I'm going to try not to anyway. Alright, okay, let's flip it over. So it looks like we've got about an inch of, will that be enough? No. For this method, I like to cover the entire surface. You don't have to, I don't guess. This is just, let's see, this is Score Pal 1-inch tape. Oh, my little block. And, whoop, I went too far. So I'm just going to cover that little bit up. Okay. So now I'm going to burnish. Just to make sure that it's stuck down everywhere. Move that. right, now I'm going to take the backing. Oh, you know what? Now I need my weight sheet here. Now I'm going to take the backing off of this tape. Normally I keep those, but I have so many. I don't need that many. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay this on here. Well, tape side down. We're going to try to match it up. I think it'll fit. If you're doing the A size, I don't think it fits. But if you're doing the B and C size, I think you're good to go. Yeah, A size. If you did the A size crafty tray, the full size crafty tray, you'll have to use the other method that I'm going to show you. Okay. So now I'm going to separate this overhang here, this leftover stuff that we don't need. I'm going to keep that though. And then I'm going to clean up. Make sure it's even, just like we just did with the tape. I'm leaving the corners. Do not cut the corners off. Okay. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to flip it over to where the white side's facing up, and you want to press and crease. Now, I have gotten a chipboard paper cut doing this. It hurts so bad. So be super careful. It's way worse than a regular old paper cut. Way worse, in my opinion. Okay, so we did that. Now on the long side here, we're going to cut that white cardstock along that edge, and that's it. And we're going to come over here and we're going to trim that white cardstock right there at that edge. We're basically just separating it, so now we got a little tab. Flip it around this way, right? Trim. Oops. Right, so now we've got 4 loose tabs. I got glue all over my nails. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up those squares that we cut off, and I'm going to stick them right back. It doesn't matter if they're in the right spot or not. And then I'm going to have to make new squares. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice on this paper here and see if that's good enough. Let's see. I'm going to put it this way. That should be big enough. Same with this. Yeah. Okay. So what you then want to do is take your scissors. These are Tim Holtz Tonic scissors, and you want to cut at an angle towards that intersection there. Cut at an angle towards the edge, and then cut any excess off that you really don't need. So I just left about an inch tab. So we're going to do that to, because remember we made that slice, so we're just going to do that to all 4. This is my garbage bow, in case you're just now catching me. There's a video on that. I'll link it up here and down below. It's made using these templates. This is a crafty tray as well. It's the medium crafty tray. Excuse me. It's the medium crafty tray in size A. Okay. See? Isn't that cute? Now I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to flip these tabs up and remove that tape backing. I'm going to do this to all 4 pieces. Okay. And then we're going to match them up. So we're just going to match up. What you want to match up on these is the inside corner, not the outside corner. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you go to put one together. Okay. Not too bad. Okay, and now we're going to wrap the whole entire thing, but for right now, if you need an extra helping hand, and I did do this with my small ones because I didn't want them to tear up, I am going to kind of put some stability on these corners so that they stay at a 90-degree, you know, square position, so they don't get bent out of shape. I guess is the best way to explain it. Whoops, I really didn't need that big of a piece. But again, you can skip that step. That's entirely optional. I just like to do it. Okay, so that's one way. And you see that's a super clean inside, even though we're going to mat it anyway. Whoops, my camera said, I don't think so. Here, let's put something in there. It's super clean on the inside, and I think it makes it sturdier. In my opinion, it makes it sturdier because I pull on the front and back quite a bit when I'm pulling them in and out of my my storage unit there, my crafty workstation. Okay, let me show you the other way now. What did I do with it? Oh, she's right there next to me. Okay, so what we're going to need now is some 1-inch strips. Let's see, we're going to need 1, 2, we're going to need 3. Oh, look at me, I've got 3 of them. Haha. We're going to need 3 1-inch strips that are scored down the middle. So this is just 1-inch strips out of that same white cardstock. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep the fold. I didn't know I had 3 over there. I thought I only had 1. Okay, I'm going to give it a good burnish. Uh-oh, did you see that? It kind of, since I wasn't holding it, it shifted. This is a Teflon bone folder. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so then I'm going to flatten them back out. Alrighty, I'm going to use 3/8 of an inch score tape. I am going to add tape on either side of the score. I need to clean my scissors. They're getting all gunky. They're supposed to be non-stick, but I have been using them so much and so often with this type of tape that it's like a paper trimmer even. It's just, they're both just mad at me right now. 2 of these, well, let's see, I'm gonna have to cut them. I'm gonna have to cut all of them down, I think. So what we're gonna do, 2 of these we need to measure to the length of the front and back panel, the longest panel. So I'm just gonna mark it. I'm going to mark it with my pencil. Trim it. Grab another one. Trim it. And then one of these we need to mark the side panels. And we need 2 of those. probably won't. I better keep that. You never know. Alright, so then you want to take a minute. Well, maybe if I can get my fingers out of the way. Goodness. Just notch each end. It just cuts down a little bit on the bulk. A little bit cleaner, a little bit neater. So I'm going to start, well, it doesn't really matter what you start with. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape backing. So if you didn't, let's just act like we didn't use Scotch tape. Okay, let's just say that I'm just holding this up next to it. So what you'd want to do is you would want to attach it to one piece, whether it be the base or the side piece, like that, and then you scoot the two pieces together, right? And then you attach them that way. So if you didn't want the extra helping hand of the tape, this tape, the transparent, what's it called? It's got a name. Transparent tape, Scotch tape, office tape, I don't know. So you could do it that way, or you can just take both off and match up the seam to the score mark and do it that way, right? It is easier to match up the seam to the score mark this way. I will tell you that. That's the truth. It is a little bit easier. I don't think it saves any time doing it one way or the other. Okay. But it goes relatively quickly. So what I would do, and all of these, however I'm making them, I would do an assembly line. So I would cut all the chipboard, right? I would then do my helping hand with the tape. Then I would do all of this. You know what I mean? I would go through all of them and do each step, and it is a lot faster that way. So now we need 4 pieces to connect. And I think we might be in luck. We might have just the right amount to do this. Did I just do that right? Yeah. So I'm going to take and measure and trim. So the 2 pieces that we cut off of the longer strips to cut them down to size are the 2 pieces I'm going to use to attach all 4 sides together. So we want to go ahead, we need 4, 1 for each corner. And the same thing, we want to just do a little bit of a notch. And I'll just cut my finger on the these scissors. I'm trying to get it to stop bleeding. Hopefully I can still do this. Alright, so I'm going to take the backing off of one side now that I'm down a finger and place it on the edge there. And I'm going to go around and do that to all 4 edges. I put them on the short side. You can put them on the long side. In this case, I don't think it matters. Whoops. I just threw that down. Try not to put pressure on my thumb. Okay. Right? So then, same thing. We're going to take, I guess it is the same as the other one. I didn't realize that. We're going to take the backing off the other pieces all the way around, and we'll attach it together. Okay, so you just want to pull it up, match it up, press. Pull it up, match it up, press. You want to match the inside corners, not the outside corners. If you match the outside corners, you're going to have, it's going to dip in. You don't want that. All right, I'm going to burnish those down really good. I just realized I didn't burnish the other ones down. I might want to do that. So there's one, and here's the other. So there's the difference in the two. It's just totally up to you, whichever way you want to do it. Because again, we're going to be matting the inside. We're going to be matting this bottom piece, so either way, totally up to you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap the edges. And if you're not wrapping your edges, then you don't have to do this next step. But I am wrapping mine, so I am going to show you how I did it. So I've already got 2 of the size C full Crafty Trays matted. Be careful not to get blood on there, Jen. I'm actually going to go ahead and slide those in their spots and show you. See, there's 2 of them in there already. And now, so I'm going to show you what you're going to need to wrap these. I think I've already got most of it trimmed. I'm going to double check. Oh, I've got some of it. I was going to show you, I don't know why. Okay, so you're going to need 3 strips of paper. These are 12 inches long. And for the B-size Crafty Tray, what you need to do is measure the side and add about 1 inch. So I ended up cutting, I'm pretty sure, for the B size, I cut 2 1/4 inch wide strips by 12. So you need 3 of these per tray, okay? So I've got 3 already ready to go, and then these 3 I need to put tape on, but I wanted to show you. And then once I cut them, I scored them at 1/2 inch. Either side is fine, just 1/2 inch. That just helps you greatly put this together neatly. So I did that to all of them, 1/2 inch on just one side. So then for the size C Crafty Tray, I ended up cutting these at 1.5 inch. These are 1.5 inch strips, and again, I scored 1/2 inch. Okay, so you need 3 per tray. So I've already got those ready. I got that set ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and put tape on here. This is where it might get, my thumb might get in the way. Okay, I'm going to start with, where's my 3/8? This is 3/8 inch score tape. I'm going to go ahead on that 1/2 inch part that we scored. Ugh. I'm going to add 3/8 of an inch. Did I put it over here too? No. So if all you have is 1/4 inch, well then use 1/4 inch. Use 2 strips of 1/4 inch. It's just, this makes it really nice and clean. You could cover the whole thing with double-sided adhesive, like you could have covered the whole sheet of 12 by 12 before you cut it down. That works too. Whoops. I totally could have done that. I'm telling you, I feel so weird with my thumb like that. Okay, so that was the 3/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to do 1/2 inch. Get my block out. I'm going to do 1/2 inch on the other edge. And this is the part that's going to wrap around the top. Oh, I forgot my block. I use, once I pass up 3/8 of an inch in the size of the tape, I use a block to tear it, because I find that my scissors, I can't cut it properly and straight once it gets big like that. So I just use this block. It's just a stamping block. It just has a nice straight edge that I like. I am going to put 1 inch size tape down the middle. I like to do it this way, closer to that score mark. I like to do it this way because I can just take a little bit off at a time I don't have to be careful. Like if you covered the whole thing, you have to be careful. Okay, so I've got all 3 of these taped up, and then I did take my bone folder. This is a Teflon bone folder, and I burnished all of that down so that it doesn't come up, and I did that with all of the pieces. And then for the C-size tray, I used 3/8 of an inch, a 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. That's the size that I used, the 3 different pieces. Okay, so I'm hoping my finger will stop. So for all the size trays, the length of the side, you need to cut one of your strips down to the length of the sides. So they're all the same. They're all the same width. So I'm just going to go off of the one that I have. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it on here. And I'm going to mark it with a pencil. Right? And then I'm going to get my paper trimmer. And I'm going to trim that up. That in there. You could use scissors if you want to, but paper trimmer works just fine. Oh, I forgot about these other ones. Shoot. I didn't cut these down for some unknown reason. Same thing. Put it in here. This one I could probably, yeah, use my scissors to cut across. Okay. I'm going to need this. Let me show you how to do the big one first. I like to start with the sides. For this one, because the front and back panels are going to wrap around this way and wrap around the corners. So basically we're just wrapping the bottom edge and the top edge. So I'm going to take the backing off of that 1/2 inch space that we have, the tape, oops, the backing off of the tape off of the 1/2 inch, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to kind of like bend it to where it looks like that, and then I'm just going to slide it on there, kind of like that, and press that 1 inch, or that 1/2 inch down. Why do I keep saying 1 inch? Oh, awful lot, awful lot, awful lot. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and remove the backing off of both of these pieces. You can leave this top piece if you wish. If you think you need to, you just go ahead and leave it, but I'm just going to take it and bring it up like this, smooth it out with my bone folder, and then I think I am going to notch these corners just ever so slightly. You don't have to, but then you want to fold it over on top of your edge, give it a burnish, and then you want to fold it in. I used my thumb more than I thought I did. And then you want to fold it in and give it a burnish, right? So you got the one end wrapped, so the bottom's wrapped, the side's wrapped, and the top is wrapped, okay? So I'm going to repeat that same thing on this side. So we got the front and the back end wrapped. Okay, so the next thing you want to do for this long piece is you want to take the center piece of this out, so that 1 inch bit, you need to take that off, right, and have that exposed. And then you want to gauge about, you want to try to get it middle, even, it doesn't matter, I mean, as long as you've got space to wrap. So you're just kind of sitting this on there, on that that 1/2 inch part there, that still has the sticky back on it. And then you just kind of want to fold it up at the score, right? So the only thing sticking is the side piece. So if you look, both of the edges are still loose, right? So before we wrap that around, I'm going to go ahead and remove this tape backing. It's just easier to do it now. But I like to leave it on when I'm getting it into place. It just makes it easier. Something doesn't accidentally get stuck down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this edge here. I'm going to fold it over the corner. Press it down, right? Fold it and press. I'm going to fold it over the corner. Press it down, right? You don't want to do too much burnishing right now because you don't want to make the box cattywamped. So I'm just going to take, I'm going to take one set of my thumb and first finger and kind of not pinch really, but like make it a crisper corner. So I'm going to do that to both pieces. Okay. So I'm going to start on the bottom here, and I'm literally going to take a triangle out right at that fold, right at that corner. And so I don't remember what I said last, but we're just going to go through and take these little triangles out of that little joint there where we scored. Then we're going to flatten the two short pieces over. I need to be careful. My finger may start bleeding again. And flatten that down. We're not going to press too hard yet because we don't want to mess with these. So again, I'm kind of pinching the corners. Now we're on the top side here, just so it's a little bit crisper. And then we're going to do the same thing. We are going to notch right in the corners. I need to clean my scissors. We're going to fold these over. We're going to burnish on the top there. And we're going to fold them all the way in. Right? Burnish. And then I'm going to try to tear these off. I'm going to grab that triangle and pull towards the inside of the box here, the tray. And then I'm going to fold this over. And they do come off. I do snap them off. Sometimes I leave them, sometimes I don't. But if it comes off, it's no big deal. So fold it, burnish. Fold it, burnish. Right, so now we've got that whole side wrapped. Oh, I better burnish this side. Bottom seam, top sides wrapped, corners wrapped, nice and neat. This corner is wrapped, nice and neat. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So now we got this one wrapped. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap the rest of them off of camera. Because you do it the exact same way. The smaller one is done the exact same way. I told you what size these were. These are 1.5 inch strips, 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do those off camera and then I will come back. Okay, so then one more thing we're going to do today in this video is, oh, by the way, all 3 of those are wrapped. So I have all 5 of them wrapped and ready. 2 of them already have this bottom piece on there, but the next thing we want to do is put something on the bottom, mat the bottom. You're not really going to see the bottom, so I'm just going to mat mine with white cardstock. And I'm going to use page 1. Now this is actually the template for the bottom base, right? But when you add the sides to it, it gets wider, and there's a mat for this. It's on page 4. So you just need to be the judge. It's on page 4. It's right here, of which look you like best. I like it where there's less showing around the edge, but you may like it where there's more showing. So you can print either one out. So I printed page number 1 in the Crafty Trays section. I printed it 5 times altogether, but I've already attached to the 2 of them, and then I cut them out. So I have 3 more for the last 3 trays. And then I have my scraps over here that, oh, those aren't my scraps. I have my scraps over in one of my crafty trays from where I trimmed them all out. Got to keep those because we could use those for like strips, you know, construction strips and stuff. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these over. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch. This one is oh, I'm going to have to get a new roll. This is scrapbook.com, a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to go around all the edges with this. And then we'll put liquid glue. Oh, look, I ran out. Then we'll put liquid glue on the inside. I have all 3, and well, there'll be 5 altogether. If you were making all 5, you'll have 5 of these, but I've already done 2. I've put tape all the way around the edges. So now all I'm going to do is, and I've burnished it, I'm going to remove the tape backing, and then I'm going to add glue. Oops. To the center, and then I'm going to stick it down. Oh, got a piece of chipboard in my tape there. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this, but you can use whatever you have. This is just my preference. But yeah, you can use white glue if that's what you have. No biggie. I'm trying to be generous here. I really want it to stay stuck, you know. Alright. I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to place this on the bottom. Just like so. You see, even though this is the same size as the bottom of this tray before it was wrapped, there is still an edge. So it's totally up to you whichever way you want to do it. Whoops. The other mat is good for the inside of the box, so keep that in mind, right? All right, so I'm going to do that to all 3, and then I'll be back. Okay, you guys, they are all wrapped up nice and tidy in their little white packages, and they got their little mats on the bottom. So let's just go ahead and give this a test to make sure everything fits. We still have 1 more layer of cardstock, so we have the decorative matting to do still. So there are all 5 trays. Check them out. Aren't they cool? And see how they slide in and out. Well, look, see how they slide in and out really easily? When we have handles on it, it'll be easier. I tried to give wiggle room so that the trays would come out really easily. And when you're working, you can just, well, you're going to have a handle, hopefully. When you're working, you can just grab it and shove it back in. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, so there's plenty of room. We still have 1 more layer of cardstock to go on here. And then we're going to add the handles. We're going to mat the insides. We're going to make the crafty bottom, which is a separate piece. But let me show you in my workbook. Let me move this. And the reason, can you see it down there at the bottom, right there? So let me show you in here. Let me show you the picture for the section. Right, it looks like that. So the reason for that is because I want it to be lifted up off of the table, because when I was coming in, the trouble that I was having is that bottom drawer. I mean, I have stuff everywhere when I'm working, and I'm sure you do too. So there was always something blocking that bottom drawer that I'd have to move. That tray just was always blocked. So instead of putting feet on it, which you can do that too, I decided to go ahead and add this crafty bottom. So it'll go onto any one of your products, and also any of your projects. It also makes it a little bit more stable too. So then once we get done matting all the trays inside and out, then we're going to make the crafty bottom. And then that'll be it for the workstation, right? So it looks totally different with the trays in it, doesn't it? It looks like a completely different project. But that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. I love everything about this workstation. Okay, you guys, that is all we're going to do in today's video. So in the next video, we're going to do the matting of the trays, and we're going to add the pulls. So I hope you're enjoying making this workstation with me. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell, turn the notifications on, share my video, all of that jazz. Check out the description box. There's a whole lot of useful information down there. There should be some videos here on the screen that you might enjoy watching. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.